Are you thinking about dumping a ton of money into your house and making sure it's fixed up and looking just perfect before you actually put it on the market? Well, today in this video, I want to cover the things that you should not fix before you put your house on the market. Let's dive right in. What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here, your Manhattan real estate expert, and I'm here to help you guys out, telling you what not to fix in today's video. So first thing I'm going to jump into it is going to be your minor cosmetic fixes. Now, this is, you know, scratches on the wall, scuffs on the wall, things like that, scuffs on the floor. Probably not too terribly worried about that. Now, again, going through and making sure it's looking good and looking great and making sure that it is in good pristine, not pristine, but in good working order, good idea, right? Now, making sure that you've got that one little smudge mark that hit the ceiling, not too terribly worried about that. I always recommend that you do them, but they don't always necessarily need to be done before you put it on the market. So, you know, if it's on the bottom of your list of, you know, tighten doorknobs and making sure everything looking good, and the painting that's halfway done on the wall isn't done, and get that finished, get the paint done first before you start worrying about these minor cosmetic things. Because number one, they're not going to show up in pictures. They're not going to show up in videos. They will show up in person, which is smart, but or is going to be a deal we'll have to get over, but nothing that we can't take care of through negotiations and things there. Second one on my list is all your old appliances. Now, when I tell you this, whenever I go and remodel houses and take care of things and do all that kind of stuff, I'm always replacing appliances because they're typically, when you see a brand new remodeled house, you're going to want new appliances. But if your oven works, your dishwasher works, your microwave works, don't worry about what color it is and buy a, you know, I just spent $4,000 on appliances on a house that we're working on, and I don't necessarily would not recommend that for somebody that is getting ready to sell your house. Now, if it's a broken oven or broken things that way, you probably should think about fixing it. But most people have no problem buying a new oven, buying a new fridge, buying a new thing, depending on your price range, obviously, because they're going to want their oven that they want. They're going to want the stuff like, I actually just learned something new the other day, that a slide-in oven versus a back or standalone oven. Never knew the difference until the other day, but I've seen them all over the place now. But I've got clients of mine, they're selling their house and they just bought all brand new appliances and they're like, yeah, this is awesome and all, blah, 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 blah. But nobody cares. It's an oven to a buyer. Whether you bought a $3,000 oven or a $300 oven, it's not a big difference, not a big deal. So making sure you've got that is probably a big one that I would tell you not to fix or not to replace as long as they're working. Over the top landscaping. I would highly recommend that you don't do over the top. Again, adding new mulch, freshening up a flower bed, those kinds of things, that's okay. Going extravagant landscaping and riverbed rock that's been flown in from Canada, who gives a crap, right? I want to make sure that you are spending your money and spending it wisely, and going over the top landscaping is not where you need to be. Is it nice when a buyer pulls up and sees all that? Absolutely it is. Is it necessary for you as a seller to get that? No, it is not. Next thing on the list is outdated decor. Now, here's the thing, right? This is a 50-50 shot here. Depends on where you're at with it. Now, if you've got gold doorknobs and hinges and things like that, don't worry about those. If you've got grandma's curtains that are sitting there and dating the entire house by 30, 40, 50 years, maybe just take them down. You don't have to get new curtains, but take them down and redo that. It freshens up a house pretty quickly. But if you've got gold faucets and gold doorknobs and gold this and carpet in the bathrooms and things like that, don't stress about that stuff. Now, if it's your house and you're still living in it and you want to kind of declutter and make some things that way, absolutely go do that. Always depersonalize a little bit, but you don't necessarily need to go in and do all kinds of new renovations for little piddly stuff, because I'll tell you from experience, doorknobs add up. Like, yeah, you might think, oh, a doorknob's $10. Great. Do that 20 different doors. Well, you're starting to get some money wrapped up in this, and you aren't necessarily going to, because people expect doorknobs. They don't necessarily want the high-end doorknobs, but they're going to expect doorknobs when they get there. So that's something to kind of pay attention to. Don't worry about the outdated decor. Just kind of straighten up and make sure it presents itself in a nice place. Minor issues. I will tell you that major issues definitely get taken care of. Major plumbing leaks, door doesn't open, things like that. Don't stress about the little stuff, right? Doorknob doesn't quite turn right or doesn't quite open. As long as it's not your front door, don't worry about it. A doorknob or a door creaks as you open it. Cool, throw some WD-40 on it. Don't stress about it. Let's say you got a dripping faucet, something like that. Don't worry about it. It's gonna happen as long as it's not causing any damage. Honestly, one thing that I always tell people, and I've done this from years of in the construction industry, I had an old guy one time tell me, he's like, Kyle, give them something to find, because if not, they are going to find something. So what I mean by that is, if you've got a dripping faucet, they're not going to necessarily dig deep and get in behind the walls. Not that they would anyway, but they're not going to dig really deeply into it all to make sure that it's all taken care of, or that they find something to justify them doing their inspections and everything that comes with that. Those minor issues, as long as it's not causing any additional damage, I would tell you that I would not stress much about it. All of this said, what I will tell you guys is don't stress about any of it, because if you're using me or whoever, hopefully it's a professional real estate agent, but if you're using an agent, use them to be your eyes and ears and experience with this one. I average selling about 60 homes a year. I want to make sure I'm going through and doing this stuff on a daily basis. I'm getting the best possible price that I can for my clients, and I'm getting the best possible way that I can to make sure we get them taken care of in the manner they want. So with that said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell you, like, hey, let's fix this, let's fix this, let's fix this. But if you're like, I don't have time, money, or energy to deal with it, cool, let's do this short list. These are the things that are going to come up. Let's give them these things that they're going to be able to find and work with and do that way. And then that way we have an opportunity to kind of work and negotiate and get some stuff taken care of there. Knowing what to fix and how to fix it, and being able to kind of pay attention to those impactful, cost-effective things can not only save you time and money, but it saves you stress. I think the most important thing is just to remember those impactful things, and freshening up and making sure it's all taken care of and doing the right things, not necessarily doing everything, but just doing the right things. One thing that I do with my sellers about a month or week beforehand, depending on how much they have to do, is I walk through and I go through that house with them, and I'm like, okay, this is cheap and easy and maybe even free. Get the baseboards done. You have them laying here. I see them. Get the place cleaned up. Don't worry about this drywall nick and knock and everything else that way, because it isn't going to matter that much for pictures and for people in there, because you have a baby gate there. So going through and having somebody that can be that sounding board for you and being like, hey, do this, don't worry about this, do this, do this, do this, and we'll take care of this, right? Having that is very, very impactful. So that all said, if you are interested in selling your home, or just interested in having a small conversation with me, non-committal, anything else that way, I would love to talk to you a little bit about it. Just kind of help walk through the house, kind of help you get the house ready to go. You can always reach out to me. My phone number is 785-477-5485. My email is kyle@homesforsalemhk.com. I'm more than happy to have those non-committal conversations. No pressure, no stress, no anything. I just want to help you out. I'll walk through the house with you. I will do all of that for free, just to make sure we get you taken care of, and so you can focus on the things that need to be done. And I don't care if you want to list your house next week or next year. Call me now. I'd love to take care of you and get you kind of moving down the right path, because let's see, for me, one of the things that I always did when we sell, like my last 6 months of living in a house is just an all-out blitz to get everything done, because I want it to hit the market and look really good. So I take that time. So call me whenever you want, and I'm more than happy to help you out. And then, as always, if you know somebody that is interested in selling their house and just doesn't know where to start here. Call me, text me, email me, get a hold of me. That is my personal cell phone number. I would love to hear from you guys, or put it in the comments below too, just seeing what your experience has been with when you're selling your house. I'd love to hear from you. And if you do enjoy this content, please go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content. Give us that like, because it does help us grow the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do these videos for you and anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. estate, I'm your guy to go to. I'm here in the Manhattan area, and I would love to help you out and get you taken care of. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.